Hello and welcome to On Demand Retirement Program. I'm really glad to have you here. I hope that you are as excited as I am because today we will be starting a new chapter, a new life. And as I promised, I will be right beside you during this journey, ensuring that you do and have everything that you need to succeed. I put this introduction section together just to make sure that you feel comfortable moving through the program and know what, where, and how. This section will be short, but it will help you to achieve the best productivity. I will describe the structure of the course and will give you a couple of possible ways to learn and apply the knowledge to get the best results fast. Let's begin. First of all, the course structure. You already know that it has 8 distinctive steps. It starts with market research, then building the team, then finding the deals, making offers, going down until the process is closed and you own the property. Each step may include from 1 to several parts, where each part includes a video session where I will explain how and what needs to be done before you move to the next section. The length of each part inside a step might be different. There is no relation between the length of a part and the number of parts in a particular step. For example, team building. This step will have 5 different parts, with each part being fairly short. While the financing step has only 1 part, but it's quite big and long, and it is filled with information. Each step has an associated downloadable component. In fact, each part of a step may have a separate downloadable. What you will be downloading will include different things: documents and templates, samples and Excel spreadsheets, web links, and so on. The important thing is that all these documents were compiled to support you in each particular phase of your journey through the program. It will allow you to focus on a core process rather than where to find one or another document or source of information. Don't be scared. All these documents are down to earth and easy to understand, or they're simply to copy and paste when you need it. In short, when you see a download link next to the video, just click on it and bring the content to your computer. After you download anything, I recommend you to look inside to have an idea what you have got. Don't try to understand it at this point. It will all be explained in the video. What you need is to simply have an idea of what you have. This will help you when I will be referring to one or another resource later. Let's now talk about the process. You can go through our program any way you want. It is always a personal choice. I want to show you 3 most common ways to implement the program and let you know what I think about each of them. You can then have a better understanding and choose whatever works best for you. Approach number 1. You learn the entire program through exploring the content of all steps, and only after that you start implementing each step starting from number 1 to 8. This is an absolutely possible way to achieve results. Some people prefer this because they don't like having surprises, or they feel more comfortable when they know all the details to the end before they start actually doing anything. Approach number 2. It is when you explore the materials of one step and then start implementing it without even knowing what will be required during the next step. Our program is actually designed the way that allows you to follow this strategy. You learn step number 1 and then you do it without having any idea what awaits you in the step number 2. In fact, it is probably the fastest way to achieve results, and it works best for those who prefer to get into action as soon as possible. Approach number 3. I call it a waterfall approach. I personally prefer this the most. What happens here is you learn step number 1, then you look through or view what's included in step number 2. And then you go and implement step number 1. So you focus on complete understanding of the details of step 1 and simply get some idea of what will be in the next, second step, before implementing the step 1. The logic of this approach is the following. When you work on the implementation of a step, knowing what's in the next step, it may be easier for you, and your results after the current step will be more precise and better aligned before moving to the next step. It also makes you kind of learn each step twice, which for some people is a better way to consume the information. Again, this is the way that works for me better, but you can use any or combination of the above, whatever you feel more efficient or comfortable with. Here's one word of caution. Whatever you do, do not skip lessons and do not jump back and forth during the implementation. The program is specifically designed having results of a selected step to pave your road into the next one. Missing one step may result in issues or even problems later. More than that, please do not start implementing the next step before you achieve results suggested in the previous one. This is quite important. Remember, the idea of the program is to lead you through the process without any risk to lose anything and get the full benefits after you finish the last step. Please remember this and follow the process in the suggested order. Let's now talk about each step. The overall structure of each step is the same. When you enter the step, you are presented with the objective of the step first. Up front, I'm giving you what you will have to learn and also what you will have to do and to achieve. You may have an introduction slide like this, for example. It tells you up front you have to learn 1, 2, 3. Normally it is why, what, and how. And then you have to do 1, 2, and so on. When you have this up front, you will be going through each step knowing what's exactly to expect from the material. You'll know what to focus on and then what's needed from you to achieve results before to continue to the next step. And then you go through videos included in the step. At the end, when you're done with your learning, you'll have a to-do list or the homework. So the objective is up front and the to-do list at the end. Trust me, if you follow this process, you will inevitably achieve results. And finally, the timeline. I call it the 120 days challenge. The entire program kind of has two major sections. Section 1, finding and evaluating what you will be purchasing, which is 30 days. And then actually purchasing the asset, another 90 days. During the first 30 days phase, you will learn how to find good deals. It's covered by steps 1 to 4. It ends up with having your offer or offers been accepted by the sellers. After that, the second phase kicks in. It's a 90 days process. The length is simply defined by the nature of this business. It can hardly be compressed. It does not only depend on your abilities, but also depends on the time, responsiveness, and ability of the sellers, banks, lawyers, and other people involved. Now, what if you need more than 30 days for the first part? Is it a problem? Of course not. Do it at your best possible speed and you will be fine. I want to emphasize one thing here. You do not need to compete with anyone. It is not a race. The only person you are competing with is you. Don't try to look around at your friends or neighbors. Don't even listen to suggestions coming from your family members. Seriously, it is your business, your process, your success. You are the master and the owner. Spend as much time as you need and make sure you keep going through. Another advice for your success. I mentioned already about not skipping lessons. The other rule is almost the opposite. Do not overanalyze things. Keep moving. For example, imagine that you analyzed a deal and it looked good. Then you sent an offer which was accepted. Then you receive the actual data from the seller, and looking at it, you see that it does not correspond to the initial input that you received. You may think, okay, I spent so much time and effort to get to this point. I have to close this deal now. And I'm telling you, no, you don't. If you see at any step that the results are not as good as you want them to be, and you don't know how to transform the situation to your liking, just leave the deal and focus on the other one. One of the biggest mistakes that people make is thinking that they have to finish the deal when it's already obvious that it is not what they were planning for. Don't do this, please. Don't waste your time. Focus on the next deal without any hesitation. This program is designed the way that you can leave the process without any damage at any step, even at the step number 8. I've seen this happen. I did have it happen with me a couple of times. You may face something that you couldn't predict, or cannot handle, or cannot convert into what you need. What do? You leave the deal. I can tell you that one of investors I worked with once told me that one of his best deals was actually the one that he left. Okay, issues and or questions. This email address is always at your disposal. At the same time, 2 things are to be said here. First, if you have any issues on how to use the program, how to access certain information, or if you have any technical difficulties, this is the email to use. We will come back as soon as possible and help you out. 2, at the same time, please do not abuse this email with questions related to a particular deal. We can hardly answer questions like, please look at this property. Do you think that I should consider it? Or should I buy this building based on the data file that I'm sending you? For obvious reasons, I cannot give practical advice to each and single deal that you will find. The whole purpose of this program was to teach you how to make it happen and for you to become an expert. And believe me, I know and I totally understand the feeling that you may have. I've been there. You may look at the numbers and then think, okay, is it a good deal or is it a bad deal? I had a mentor. When I asked him these questions, his response was, you tell me, do you think it's a good deal for you and your current situation? And honestly, this is the only possible way to make the right decision. We are all different. What can be good for me may not be good for you or for your current circumstances. Become your own boss. Control your destiny. Only then you will achieve what you want. Again, support at ondemandretirement.com is for all technical questions you may have. The answers to all other questions will be found inside of the program and inside of your mind. I'm sure you understand it. With this, we are done with the introduction section. Let's now make it happen, one step at a time. You will be able to do it. I know you will. You will have all the information that you need, and I will be next to you on every step until you succeed. Good luck, and remember, taking action is always the key.